The abuse men suffer that we don't even know. It's a must we talk about it.
I was just patient, never try skating. Fuck niggas hating.
So there's obvious abuse, right? There's things that you know is abusive, like putting your hands on somebody, smacking them around. In this video, I want to discuss the abuse that men suffer, and we don't even know. We might not know. We might know, but if you don't, I do want to bring some things to the light and help you understand a couple of things, because it's if you don't even know what type of abuse there is or what it looks like, we hear the phrases, we know what psychological abuse, we heard that before, we know what mental abuse, we heard that, we heard verbal abuse, financial, but do you know what they actually look like? And do you know if it's actually happening to you? If you don't know, but you are going through some stuff and you're in a situation, or you've been in a situation before and it didn't feel right, you couldn't really put a finger on it, you really didn't know how to articulate it and put it into words, I'm going to help you with this video. In this video, I want to break down 5 different types of abuse that we can suffer. And if we aren't educated, we don't know what they actually look like, we haven't taken the time to go watch videos on them, or we haven't taken the time to do the research on these different types of abuse, we might not even know we're being abused. All we know is we feel triggered. All we know is we want to get revenge. All we know is we're unhappy. All we know is something's off. Okay? So in this video, I'm going to break it down for you, and hopefully I can bring some clarity to your life if you are one of these men who don't really know you're being abused. I'm going to help you understand it right here in 5 different ways that a woman can abuse you right in front of your nose, and you don't even understand what's going on. You don't even know that you're being abused. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get right with it. Okay? Number 1, verbal abuse. Now, I'm going to read a lot of this because I don't want to miss anything. This is a very important video, okay? When it comes to verbal abuse, calling someone out of their name, okay? Sarcasm, yelling, cussing, and being condescending, these are all signs of verbal abuse, okay? Whenever you're being abused, you can feel triggered and you can respond to that abuse. And when you respond to verbal abuse, and if you become verbally abusive back in response, your reaction is called reactive abuse. So what you're doing in return to that review, and as a reaction and in return due to that abuse, is called reactive abuse. It is still abuse. Okay, so somebody calling you out of your name, calling you something that you don't want to be called, yelling at you, cussing at you, being sarcastic all the time, demeaning you, belittling you, talking down to you. You know what I mean? That is verbal abuse. Okay? It's abuse. It's toxic. It's unhealthy. It has no place in a healthy relationship. This is something that has to be addressed. This is something that needs to be stopped. And because as men, we are going to be the ones that are our go-to abuse whenever triggered, or if we're an abusive person. Majority of the time, men are physically abusive. Okay, whether it's something that they know they're doing or not, that's probably the go-to for a man. Men can also be verbally abusive without being triggered. Like, they can just automatically be a verbally abusive person too. But for the most part, in most cases, the abuse that women suffer from men is going to be physical. But the abuse that we can suffer from women, it can also be physical. But I'm going to touch on all types of abuse that we can suffer from women. And let me be clear, we can also abuse women the same way. But this video is for the fellas. So is my content on my channel. It always has been. And I just want to bring awareness to younger or any kind of man out there who is unaware of what it actually looks like to be abused as a man. Okay, so the first one was verbal abuse. And all of those things that a woman does when she's in your ear and she's so close and she's spitting in your face, not intentionally, but she's so close and she's yelling and all that stuff, that's abuse. And if you respond to it, that's reactive abuse. So you are you're no better than her if you respond to it. Okay? If you want a healthy relationship, you have to work on shutting down and not tolerating and putting up with abuse of any kind. It's not good for you. I'm sorry I dragged that point out. Let me move to point number 2. Okay? Number 2 is physical abuse. I'm going to read it, okay? Cuz I don't want to miss anything. This includes punching, slapping, kicking, pushing, bumping, shoving, using objects as weapons, to swing, drop on you, shoot, impact the person with in general. If they're going to impact you with it, if it's going to go through you, in you, on you, hit you, against you, it's a item that's being used physically to abuse you. Okay? And even giving the illusion that they will cause you harm, like flexing, balling up fists, or flat out threatening you, is all considered physical abuse. Sorry. I just want to bring some clarity to this. Okay. So if you're doing it, you're being abusive. If she's doing it, she's being abusive, physically abusive. Okay. I had an ex one time. She balled up her fist and was doing the huff and puff and stuff. Okay. That is assault. Okay. She didn't put her hands on me, but she was physically trying to intimidate me or give me the illusion that she would cause me harm and she would just fly off the handle, and I was supposed to fear was supposed to be put in my heart. I was supposed to refrain from whatever it was that I did that caused her to puff up in the chest like she was a man. Okay, this is also abuse. Okay, it's toxic, it's not healthy, it causes harm, it does no good. Therefore, it has no place in a healthy relationship. And again, if somebody is abusing you, you responding to the abuse with abuse is called reactive abuse. Therefore, you are guilty of abuse as well. That is not what I'm going to, in this video, advise you do. I advise you not tolerate abuse, but I also advise against reactive abuse. Okay? You refrain from doing that. You must remove yourself from the situation. If you address the abuse and it doesn't stop, you must remove yourself. Reactive abuse is not okay. It is not okay. Moving forward to number 3. Financial abuse. This is probably the most common that's happening in modern dating. And let me read it. Modern abuse can look like this: showing interest in their financial gain alone, not you, but the financial gain. As far as their interaction with you, they're only focused on the financial gain. That's financial abuse. Okay, that's one form of financial abuse. Number 2 is holding on to their money while willingly spending yours. That's financial abuse. Lying about money, i.e., spending or overspending. Okay, hiding it, stealing it, not repaying it when it's loaned. Okay, and causing you to take financial losses by getting you fired, ruining your deals, your contracts, or making bad investments with your money. All of that is financial abuse. So these women taking your money and buying bags with them, poor investments with your money. Okay, this is financial abuse. Okay, holding on to their money and spending yours. That's financial abuse. Using you for your money, not reciprocating, not paying you back loans that when they borrow money from you. Financial abuse. Okay? Now, again, like I say on every point, you don't want to react in an abusive way when being abused. Okay? That's called reactive abuse. Refrain from doing that. You address the issue. If it doesn't stop, you remove yourself. Number 4, emotional abuse. Again, very common in modern dating. Dealing with a modern toxic woman, you're going to be emotionally abused. And let me explain how. Okay. Causing you emotional distress by disrupting your peace, intentionally causing you emotional pain by withholding affection, attention, intimacy, and admiration, attempting to make you cry, sad, unhappy, stressed out, or depressed. Okay. Anything that is done to bring a bad emotion out of you, whether it's something that was said, done, or not done, is emotional abuse. If it was done intentional to make you feel less than, inferior, depressed, devalued, emasculated, uh, emotionally, if you are off balance and confused emotionally, if you want to cry, you got that pit in the center of your chest by how she's treating you and whatever's going on, that's emotional abuse. Okay? I have to generalize that because women are very crafty and they find ways to emotionally abuse you. They are emotional creatures. They know how to tap into or to how to use emotional mind games because they live in their emotions. So they know what will work against them. They apply it to you. Okay. And this person is trying to make you feel bad, cry, stressed out. This is emotional abuse. Do not resort to playing emotional games with this woman in return as a reaction to emotional abuse. I'd avoid becoming emotional with this woman because she cannot be trusted with your emotions. I would show no woman. I would do what they call gray rock. Now it's okay to be nonchalant where they can't read you because when you gave her the ability to read you, she misused you. She tampered. She tried to toy with your emotions. So now withhold your emotions. Now, I'm not saying that this is healthy. Gray rocking is not healthy. If you have to stay in a relationship, if you're making the choice to stay in a relationship with somebody and you're going to I'm just going to use gray rocking, you are volunteering to be in a toxic relationship. Therefore, your behavior over time, if you sustain that behavior, will also be deemed as reactive abuse. And instead of reacting to abuse with abuse, you guessed it, address it. And if it doesn't change, remove yourself from the situation. Number 5, mental abuse. If you don't know what that looks like, making you feel crazy by confusing you, gaslighting you, deflecting. Deflecting is when they they try to throw you off their scent. You're asking them questions about something that you might have found or saw or read, and they're like trying to throw you off the scent. They're like, no, that didn't happen. They're trying to word salad you and confuse you. This is a mental game. This is mental abuse. You're getting hot. You're getting hotter and hotter. They want you to be cold. And even though you're not going to be cold, they're going to convince you mentally that you are cold. They're going to be like, nope, that ain't it. Nope. Nope, you're wrong. Nope, you made assumptions. Nope, it's something totally different. It ain't even that. The deflecting, that's what deflecting is when they try to throw you off the scent. Okay? Accusing you of things you did not do or say. Blame shifting. Okay, making you the blame for things that they did. This is crazy making. This is mental abuse. Okay, making you feel responsible for their actions. I just said that. Flat out calling you crazy. Okay, and deceiving you in any way. And anything meant to lower your self-esteem is also mental abuse. Okay, so a person lying to you, a person deceiving you, tricking you, fooling you, running amok. This is mental abuse. because it makes your brain think you're going this direction and this is what's happening, but really it's something totally different. This plays with your mental. You start thinking that you're crazy, you're delusional. This is mental abuse. Okay. Now I said I have 5, but I have a bonus one here. This one is the least common, but I do want to touch on it. I do believe it does happen, you know, and it's sexual abuse. Okay. And I'm gonna just keep this one short. It's the least common that happens to men. Okay, but sexual abuse is forcing you to have sex. Okay, taking it by force, using it against you by either withholding it from you or demanding it from you. Okay, that's sexual abuse. Yeah, somebody demanding it from you, that's sexual abuse. Somebody taking it from you like it's just theirs and they can do whatever they want, that's sexual abuse. Okay, so these are 6 different ways that you can be abused, even as a man. Okay, and you might not have even known what it looked like. And if you're in a situation like this, now you know how to address how you're feeling. You can pinpoint, that's why I felt that way. That's why I'm unhappy. This content is strictly meant to help men find their way. When I was coming up, I didn't have it. Okay? And I just want to give. I just want to give what I didn't even have growing up. I want to help. You know what I'm saying? I want to share my experiences. And I have been abused in every last one of those ways. Every last one in my life. And I wasn't educated on what they actually look like. I hear them. We watch videos. We hear them all the time. We hear these phrases being thrown around, and we might even watch an overly technical video on it and not really understand it because they're using these big words. And that's when I come into play. And I come in here and I break it down. And I keep it simple and short. And I hope I've touched anybody. I helped anybody if I have. If it resonates with you, if you just like this video, please give me a like, comment, subscribe. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jerome. And this has been another episode of The Superb Word. Until next time, y'all, be safe. And 2 fingers. All right.